All right, if you're a property or business manager, you already know this. Getting a big new electrical connection for a project can be a total nightmare, right? It's complex, it's bureaucratic, and honestly, it can stop your project dead in its tracks. So in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise. We'll give you a super clear roadmap from the moment you apply to the day they flip the switch. So here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start by figuring out who's who in the zoo, the grid operator versus your supplier. Then we'll dig into the magic number, 36 kVA, and why it changes everything. After that, we'll walk through the actual connection process, talk money, and then wrap it all up with a checklist you can actually use. Okay, first things first, let's clear up what is, without a doubt, the biggest point of confusion in the French electricity system. The grid operator and your energy supplier, they are two totally different companies, and knowing who to call for what is the first and most important key to success. The easiest way to think about this is like a highway. EDS, they're the ones who build and take care of the actual roads. All the poles, all the wires, they own the infrastructure. Now your energy suppliers, like EDF or ENGIE, they're the car companies. You buy a car from them to drive on the highway, but they don't own the road. You buy the ride from the supplier, but EDS owns the road it's delivered on. So here's the bottom line. If it's physical, it's an EDS. Period. We're talking about installing new lines, physically connecting your building, putting in the meter, or showing up when there's an outage. They own and operate the grid. And it doesn't matter one bit who you pay your monthly bill to. And that brings us to your supplier. Think of them as your sales and customer service department for electricity. They're the ones you sign a contract with, they're the ones who send you a bill, and they're the ones you call if you have a question about that bill. But, and this is crucial, they never ever touch the physical network. Okay, let's move on to this one little number that is a huge deal, 36 kVA. Once your project's power needs cross this line, the whole game changes. The process, the equipment you need, the cost, everything gets a whole lot more serious. And there it is, 36 kilovolt amperes. Just think of it as the measure of how much power your site demands. If you need less than this, you're pretty much treated like a standard customer. But the second you need more, welcome to the world of high-power connections. The rulebook is completely different. Now, this table uses the old tariff names, but they're still perfect for explaining this. Anything under 36 kVA puts you in the simple tarif bleu category. But cross that line and you're in tarif jaune for mid-sized businesses, or even tarif vert for the really big users like factories. And believe me, each step up is a major leap in complexity. And you can literally see the difference. It's night and day. On the left, that's the kind of simple meter you'd see in any small office. On the right, that's the setup for a high-power connection. It's not just a meter, it's a whole dedicated system with its own cabinet, heavy-duty breakers, transformers. It's a serious piece of engineering. All right, so you've figured out you need a high-power hookup. Now what? Let's get practical and walk through the actual step-by-step journey of getting your site plugged into the grid. The whole thing breaks down into 5 main phases. It all starts with your application. From there, Anita sends you back a technical and financial proposal. They call it a devis. If you like what you see, you accept and pay, and then they start the physical work. But that last step is absolutely critical, a mandatory safety inspection from a group called Consul. Without their stamp of approval, Anitas cannot legally turn your power on. You cannot skip this. Okay, pro tip for all you managers out there, get this stuff together before you even pick up the phone to call Anitas. Seriously, having your building permit, your site plans, and knowing exactly how much power you need, this is the single best thing you can do to avoid headaches and keep your project moving. Let's talk about the big question. What's this all going to cost? Well, it's not always a straightforward answer. Anitas has 2 ways of billing you, a standard price list for the simple stuff, and a completely custom quote for anything that's, well, not simple. Let's look at what that means for you. For the really straightforward jobs, Anitas has something called a barème de raccordement. Just think of it as a regulated fixed price menu. If your project is simple and fits one of their standard boxes, this is what you'll pay. It's all approved by the energy regulator and even gets adjusted with inflation, so it's super transparent. So when does that nice, simple menu get thrown out the window? What makes Anitas say, nope, we need to draw up a custom quote or a devis just for you? Pretty much any kind of complication. If they have to extend the network to get to your property, if the ground is rocky, if they have to drill under a road or railway, or even if the local authorities have special rules, you're getting a custom quote. For most big projects, just plan on getting a custom quote. It's the norm, not the exception. And this isn't just some internal policy. It's actually baked right into the regulations. This legal analysis basically says the rules give entities very broad power to decide when to issue a custom quote. So yeah, they have a lot of room to say your project is non-standard. And look at the difference in cost. It is huge. A simple connection where the infrastructure is already there, maybe under €1,000. But if they have to extend the network out to your site, that price can easily shoot up to €6,000, maybe more. That network extension is almost always the biggest ticket item. Okay, we have covered a lot: the players, the power threshold, the process, and the price. So to tie this all together, let's finish up with a simple operational checklist you can use for your next project to make sure everything goes smoothly. Here it is, your 6-step action plan. The first 2 are all about prep. Know what you need and get your paperwork done early. When that quote comes in, go through it with a fine-tooth comb and understand what's driving the cost. But the last 2 are just as important. You have to coordinate their work with your own construction schedule. And for the last time, do not forget to get that final Consul safety certificate. It's the key that unlocks your power. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that getting your power connection isn't just another task on a long to-do list. It's a strategic part of your overall project. If you treat it that way, with serious planning from day one, you'll avoid the massive, costly delays that trip so many other people up. And you'll have the power you need right when you need it.